Sit it ta 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 ta. Sit it ta 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 ta. Chicka 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 ta. Zoom ta 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 doom ta doom ta doom doom ta 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 doom ta doom ta doom doom ta 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 doom ta doom doom doom. It's Titan in the morning. Zibba dibba ta ta doom ta doom ta ta doom ta doom ta. Sibba dibba ta ta doom ta doom ta ta doom ta doom doom doom. Doom, sibba dibba da to doom to doom da to doom to doom doom to doom to doom doom, sibba dibba da ba boom 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 boom, Titan in the morning, sibba dibba da doom to doom da do to doom da to do to do do dibba dibba di to do to do do to do to do do to do to do do. It's Titan in the morning. Zibba dibba doop is Titan in the morning. Zibba dibba doop is Titan in the morning. It's Titan in the morning. So Titan in the morning. Hi, my name is Titan Capri. I am a black gay man living with HIV and celebrating 20 years of thriving in my diagnosis. Titan in the morning is an inclusive space for your morning wake up. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. We come in and we say good morning because we love all the O's and R's and INGs. Then we grab our cups, put the topic in the cups, and then we sip. You will get a space and a place where you can be who you are just the way God made you, along with some breathwork breathing. And not to mention some movement with the Titan's groove. Sit it, ta 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 ta. So come on in to this inclusive, brave, and safe space where we like to say good morning to our village, tribe, gang, and chosen family. The place to be is right here with me. I will see you there. Good morning. Good morning to you all. Good morning. I know. Wait. I know. Oh, hold on. Good morning. Y'all know. I don't know what's going on with me this morning. Like I am. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Maybe I just need to sip just a little bit more. Thank y'all so much. Good morning. That sounds better, don't it? That sounds better. I got it going this morning. I am in here. Y'all know what today is. Y'all know what we do. I just want to say good morning to you. Now, y'all come on in and say good morning to me. I want y'all to come on in and say good morning, and all of that good stuff. Can y'all do that for me? Can y'all come on in and say good morning to me? Come on, y'all. We that much closer to the weekend. What we got this morning? Hey, quiet. Good morning. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Melody. Good morning. Hey, Chris. Good morning. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Come on and give me a good morning. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, y'all. Good morning to you. Hey, Linda. Linda said, good morning. Good morning to you, Linda. Good morning. Hey. No, you know what? Look. No. So, yeah, I don't know why when I'm on in the mornings, I don't know why I talk to y'all like y'all are right here. Like y'all are right. Right? I'm always talking like that. So y'all forgive me if I'm talking to you like you're right here in the room, because I feel that you are right here in the room. So that's the way we talking this morning. Hold on, let me fix my shirt and stuff. Look, y'all, I'm telling y'all. So I'm moving right now and I'm trying to get like everything together. And so things are out of place, then, waking up. And so y'all just bear with me this morning. Linda said, you look so good. All right, Linda, you better watch it. I thank you so much. Now, I like all that kind of carrying on. Don't do it, Linda. Don't do it. Because I like that kind of carrying on. Good morning to you all. All right, y'all, let's go ahead on and do it. This morning, right? This morning, we're going to check in, right? But we're going to talk about the DMs and the inbox, right? DMs and the inbox. So I got a story for y'all because people have been hitting my DMs, people have been hitting my inbox, and there's been some things that they've been asking. So what I'm gonna do, right? I have the questions already printed out, right? I'm gonna put them into my lovely bowl here, and I'm gonna show it to you in just a minute. And then we're gonna answer the questions. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna answer the questions. Because I think sometimes, y'all, when we're doing these things, like they're always there's some good and there's some bad, right? Hey, Stitch, good morning. Good morning to you. There's some good and there's some bad. And so I want to go through some of the questions that have been put in my inbox and the DM. Some people direct message me, you know, after the show, during the show, things like that. And I'm good with that. So I've answered all of these questions, right? But I want to answer them on live with you all this morning. Can we do that this morning? Okay. Just give me just a second here. Give me just a second. All right, y'all. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to check in. What's one word of how you're feeling this morning? What's one word of how you're feeling this morning, right? Now, remember, that word just has to be true to you. It doesn't have to be anything to anybody else. It can be just true to you, right? So this morning, my word this morning is good. Good. That's my word this morning. Good. I'm good. I'm good this morning, right? And I think sometimes, y'all, we don't give ourselves enough credit to say that we are good or that things are going good, right? Now, will things go bad? Do things go bad? Yes, they do. But this morning, my word is good. What's one word of how you're feeling this morning? My word is good this morning. I'm good. I'm good. Hey, Video. Video said, good morning, Corazon. Good morning, Corazon. Yes. Y'all see how I say it? That's how I say it. Corazon. Yes. Me and Avilio have been I've been Corazon since we had, I think it was a reunion project, right? Yes, indeed. I think that's what it was. Linda said, last time you had went on a date and had a nice time, how are things going? You know what, Linda? Hold that for a second. I got you this morning. Stitch said the one word they have this morning is overstimulated. Okay, come through, Stitch. Come through. So let me ask you this, Stitch, and I know, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. I'm asking for consent, right? Is it overstimulated? Is it a good overstimulated? Because sometimes you can be overstimulated and it can be a good thing. You know what I mean? Or is it something I'm overstimulated, like I need to calm down type thing? If you want to, if you just elaborate just a little bit on that. Eddie said, my word is progressive. Come on, progressive, right? Your word is progressive. Come on, progressive. That's what I'm talking about. Now that's a word for you. Okay. Let's see what else we got over here this morning. What's one word of how you're feeling today? You feeling blessed? Okay, Daryl. Feeling blessed. All right. Linda said her word is unconditional. Unconditional. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Unconditional. Stitch said, I'm in between good and not so good. Okay. Sometimes it takes a balance. Right? Sometimes it takes a balance. Because we can be good and we can be not good. We can be in between, right? And so just so long as you know where you at and what you're doing. Tina said special. Okay, special. That's what I'm talking about. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Yeah. But love me now. Yes. Hey. Look, that's what I'm talking about this morning. All right, y'all. Look, I only put a couple in here this morning. And so this is my trusty thing this morning. So we're going to talk about the DMs and the inbox, right? We're going to talk about the DMs and the inbox. So Let's see. Linda asked the question. Before I get into it, y'all keep on bringing me your words for today. How you feeling today? But Linda asked the question. She said, "Last time you had went on a date and had a nice time. How are things going?" Well, Linda, things are going good, right? Things are going good. We are taking it one day at a time. I haven't went on a date with them again just yet. However, we plan to go on a date. Like I said, right now in the midst of me moving, I'm kind of trying to make sure I do one thing at a time, and that way I can kind of focus. But yes, I will let you know. I'll give you an update on what it is that we're doing with that. They still good. We still talk. We still talk. So not bad. Not bad. And they are excited about going on another date, Linda. So yeah. Well, thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Okay, yes, indeed. So this is what we're doing. So for those of you who are new to the live to Titan in the morning, what we do is we come in, we say good morning, we talk about things, and we always have a topic. Everybody is welcome. This is an inclusive space, right? Brave and safe, inclusive space for you to come in and do what you do, right? And we like to say around here, do what you do, but watch my shoes, right? So come on in, have your opinions, have your thoughts and things like that, but just let's be respectful of one another, okay? And for you, if you're new, indeed, if you're new to this, I'd like to tell you that my name is Titan Capri. I'm a black gay man living with HIV and celebrating 21 years this year, right? I am a father. I am a brother. I am a veteran. I am all the things, right? So I just want you to be okay. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. So I am all of those things, but this is what we do. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time is Titan in the morning. So y'all, let's do this, right? TikTok, y'all, tippity tap tap the middle of that screen. Let me know that y'all are in. I got a goal over there. If you can help me out with the goal, that would be wonderful. But go ahead and go to my shop. You can get you a nice old Titan in the morning mug. Oh, YouTube, Facebook, Insta, Podbean, X. Y'all go ahead and show me some love, show me some thumbs up, show me all of that. Come on in, y'all. Tell a friend, like, follow, share, subscribe, do all of that. I had to get the business out the way, y'all, because y'all know what we do. Y'all know how we do it in here. Hey, Lynn. Good morning. Lynn said, "Morning, Titan." Okay, Linda, I'm sipping this morning. Yes, indeed, and it's good. Okay. Uh-oh. Stitch said, "I have my caramel iced coffee today." Come on, caramel iced coffee. You better be on it this morning. Y'all hold on this morning. Hey, good morning, Instagram. Good morning. Hey, good morning, Podbean. Good morning. Yes, y'all, good morning to you. Uh-huh. All of that good stuff. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, no, I'm just trying to make sure that we good. We all right this morning? Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me make sure. All right, let me hold on 1 second, y'all. Projecting a great April for everyone. Yes, indeed, Lynn. Yes, indeed. Y'all hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, y'all. I'm sorry about that. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. So let me apologize to you all right there. Let me apologize. Let me tell y'all what happened. So I ordered some ice cream, some sickle bars and some ice cream and stuff, and they just delivered it, right? And so it was sitting out there on in the front, and I was like, okay, y'all. So y'all forgive me. Y'all forgive me. I don't normally do things like that, but I ain't want the ice cream to go to waste. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. All right, y'all. Look, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you what it is, okay? Hey, Pause Impact. Hey, Josh. Good morning. All right, y'all. Let's do it this way. Wait, oh, wait. Y'all heard everything I said, huh? Yeah, I got the earpiece in my ear. Oh, Lord. You know, they tell you when you are in doing live performances and things, the earpiece, you need to take the earpiece out because people can hear everything that you like, you know what I mean? But y'all, look, it's all good. It's all good. Y'all stay with me. Y'all be with me this morning. All right. All right, y'all. So we were talking about what's one word of how you're feeling today. And we were talking about the words and how you were feeling. So y'all, for those of you who are coming in, because a couple of people said they were new to the channel, and they were new to the platform, and I just wanted to give them a little bit of who I am and what I do so we can have that. Now, what I would like for you to do is, if you have a word of how you're feeling this morning, go ahead and put it into the chat, put it into the comments, do what you do, all of that good stuff like that, right? Because here's the thing, y'all, here's the thing. We got to know where we are. We got to know what we're doing. You know what I mean? And so my word this morning is good. I'm good. I'm good, right? Hey, Tweety. Tweety said, good morning. Hope your morning is going great. Just enjoy and stay blessed. Indeed. Okay. Lynn said the word is effing blessed. Okay. Come on. Come on. You can have the word to be effing blessed. Okay. I'm effing blessed. Okay. All right. Wait. Exordria? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. That was my first word. Okay. That was your first word. Yes, indeed. That's what I'm talking about. Linda said, blessings overflowing. Amen. Indeed. Correct. Okay. Okay. I'll be trying. I'm trying. I'm trying to make sure I'm good. All right, y'all. So let's do it this morning. Right. We had the one word of how we're feeling today. We checked in with each other. And what I would like for you to do here, especially at Titan in the Morning, right, is when you come on, check in with yourself on a daily basis. Check in with yourself on a daily basis, because the reality of it is that if you don't check with yourself, who's going to check in for you, right? Linda said happiness. Come on, happiness. Because I'm happy. Yes, because I'm happy. Look, let me tell you that. I appreciate you asking. Most people say Zoe first. Okay, look, I be trying to look. I know my name. Sometimes people call me Titus. People call me Titanium. People call me all of the things, and I'm just like, well, my name is easy, so to speak, right? However, right, I always have to ask because I just want to make sure that I'm pronouncing it. And you're welcome. You're welcome. That's what we do over here. Okay. Look. I have no problems with that. Now, I want to say this, though. Please forgive me because I might butcher it. I might get fast in what I'm saying real quick, and I might butcher it just a little bit, right? But please don't take it to heart, okay? Blame my mind and not my heart. Y'all with me this morning? All right. So, y'all, let's get it. So, this episode today is called DMs and the Inbox, right? And so, y'all, what I normally would do is that I normally answer questions and things like that on the back end, right? I don't normally bring it to the front, but every now and then I like for you all to know what's in my DMs and my inbox. And it's just a moment of transparency. I'm not going to say any names like that, right? Because I've already answered the questions. I've already, went through them, but I put the actual questions into my trusty bowl right here, right? My trusty bowl. And what I'm going to do is reach in, pull out a question, right? Or pull out a statement, and then I'm going to express it, and then we can discuss it if you all like, right? And I would appreciate it if we could actually do that. Can we do that? Okay, look. No, y'all come on in. Come on in and tell a friend. Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Let me take this down just a little. There we go. All right. There we go. Yeah. Hold on. Did we good? Okay. There we go. I have no problem with that. Hold on. Hold on. Cause y'all are seeing me. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all got me. I'm gonna scoot you back, just scoot you just a little bit. I'm gonna scooch. All right. Okay, cool. We good? All right. I like that. The mind and not the heart. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Exodria, because let me tell you, baby. All right. No. Good morning. Good morning. So y'all, okay. So somebody asked that I express who I am, right? And so I don't have a problem with that, right? Now, on the platform, if you look at my intro or my commercials or anything that I have on the platform, I talk to you about being a black gay man who's living with HIV. Now, I don't have a problem with that at all. That's who I am. That's what I do, all of the good stuff like that, right? And so I just want to be clear on this space here. I may be this person, I may identify like this, you know what I mean? But a lot of times what we do is we put parameters around how you can identify, how you can do. And in this space, you identify how you wish, right? However, I ask that we just have a human experience. We have an experience of love and honesty and just being, straightforward, uplifting one another and going for. We got enough hate in this world, right? So on this platform, I want you to be in it with me. We're going to talk about it. We're going to build about it. We're going to laugh. We're going to sing. We may even cry. We may even do whatever it is. But we are wanting to just be human, be who God made us to be, right? I don't have to put on all that other stuff and do all of that. Y'all with me this morning? All right. The DMs and the inbox, right? Let's go. The DMs and the inbox. All right, let's see. Let me pull one out. Let's see what we got here. All right. What do I do, right? What do I do when it's hard for me to see my son with another man? Huh. Hold on, y'all. Let me put the box, the cup down, and let me take a sip. Mm. Wait a minute. All right, baby. Hold on. Woo. Hold on. Let me preface this just a little bit, right? The answer I gave this individual is what I'm going to express to you all. But I get these questions all the time in my inbox and my DMs because there are a lot of parents, there are a lot of elderly individuals. When I say elderly, like they've been, around and they've had, they were born in a different time, right? So this particular individual is 65, 66, I believe, closer to 70. And they were asking about this because their son came out as gay, right? But also is living with HIV. Okay. So they were just like, I don't know what to say. This is because they are gay. This is why their life is so turned upside down and things like that. So I just wanted to preface this because the answer that I gave this individual, the answer that I gave her was off of what she had said previously, and things like that. So I just want to give y'all that preface before I give the answer here. Hey, Crystal Renee Starr, good morning. So the first thing that I told her was that, what do you do, right? You love your son. You love your son, right? This is your baby. This is your seed. This is something that was birthed from you, right? This is your harvest. And so a lot of times what we do is we put being gay or being part of the LGBTQIA plus community on first. Is this not your son? Do you not love him? Right? It's okay for you not to truly understand, right? If that's the position that you're taking, but I'm asking you to love him, right? To love him right where he's at in this moment. You with me? You don't have to truly agree with everything, but love your son, right? And that's what I led with, y'all. And somebody said, once before, well, how can they do that if they not, respecting me and respect? But what is the respect? I love who I love, right? So I'm gonna use a little I statements. I love who I love. I can't control that. Although society wants to let you know that you can or tell you that you can't control that. My feelings are my feelings. So I told her this is her son, and I asked her, do you love your son? Yes, I love my son through and through. I said, well, then love him. Because the question was, or the statement was, question is, what do I do when it's hard for me to see my son with another man? Is your son happy? Right? Like, these are the questions. These are the parts of life that we have to ask ourselves before we go in and we try to condemn somebody and we try to villainize somebody for loving the same sex. Are they happy? Right? Are they healthy? Are they good? You with me? There is no reason for you to cancel out all of your feelings and emotions and your love because someone says that they are gay or queer or they love the same sex or same gender loving. Right? Now, some of y'all might not agree with what I'm saying this morning, but that's okay. That's okay. That's why I'm going through the DMs and the inbox. And like I told her, I'm saying this with love because I guarantee you on his end, if he waited this long to be who he is, to stand 10 toes down and who God made him to be, because you don't get to choose your children. You don't get to choose your parents. You don't get to choose these things, right? And this is what I'm saying this morning. So I wanted to preface the answer that I was given because me and her had conversations on conversations before she asked me this question, right? And so I just want you to know in her particular case, I asked her to love her son, right? Hear him, see him, and understand him, right? You can't solve a problem if you don't listen. Use your sights, use your sound, right? Use those things that you have, that are God-given things that you have. Use them. And so sometimes what happens is that we let society, we let community, we let the world, we let politics, we let all of this get in front of loving our children. Now, I'm not telling you if your child over there acting a nut and bucking and all the time, then you're going to have to handle it the way that you handle it. But if your child came to you and said, mama, daddy, right? Auntie, uncle, grandma, grandpa, right? If they said, this is who I am, and the only thing I've ever wanted you to do was love me, how can you throw that out the window? How can you put that to the side? Remember, this is something you brought into this world. This is something that was a blessing to you. And if you can't do that, at least listen. Don't talk back. I know you're the parent, but listen to what they're trying to say, because I guarantee you it has been a long journey to even get to this point, to cross that threshold and to say, mama, daddy, brother, sister, cousin, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, friend, right? This is where I'm at. For some people, it's a lot easier. And she said to me when she asked me this question, she said, Titan, you are on here and you are telling people all the time and you are good and all of those things, right? And I said, at one point in my life, I was not. At one point in my life, I couldn't tell you that. At one point in my life, I stood in the back of the room and let you say what you was going to say. And I didn't want to tell nobody because I had told people before and it backfired on me. I had told people before and I was attacked. Mentally, spiritually, physically, I was attacked, right? And so a lot of times what happens is we don't know the journey. What did it take for me to get to this threshold? What did it take for me to get here to even tell you? So I'm going to read the question one more time. What do I do when it's hard for me to see my son with another man? And what I want you to do, right, is to love them. Put love first. Put love first. Before the societal things, before the derogatory, before all of those things, put love first. That's what you do. If it's hard for you to see him with another man, right? What are they doing? I said something. Me and my nephew had a conversation one day. And my nephew said, well, that's just the way the world is. And I told my nephew, I said to my nephew, I said, have I ever talked about you in a bad way? Have I ever made you feel that you couldn't be safe and come to me and be brave in this space? Have I ever talked about you as if you were somebody other than my nephew? And he said, no, uncle, no. I said, have I always led with love? And then with my nephew, I told my nephew, I said, I had to make sure, right? I got to stop because my nephew is 28 now, right? I got to stop treating you like you 8 or you 6 because I want to protect you. You are grown, right? And so when I had the conversation with my nephew, it was about other people talking about him and his life and things that he was doing. And I told him I would never. That's not who I am. I'm part of society. I'm part of the culture. I'm part of community. But I'm going to always lead with love. Why? Because I love you. And I think sometimes, y'all, we got to really, really get back to that. That's the basic thing right there. I love you. That's it. And at least if I can't stomach it, if I can't go with it, if I can't love you through who you are, how you identify your transition or whatever it may be, right? The least I can do is listen to you so I can understand where you're coming from. Y'all, we get nowhere when we shut people down. We get nowhere when we tell you how I feel about your life. That's the wrong in that. When I tell you how I feel about your life, and you don't know how long it took me to get to this point. Love him. Love them. Love her. She, they, it, P, pop, 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 pop. Love them. That's where you start. And even if it's hard for you to see him with another man, start with love. But y'all, we are human. We are human. And the last thing I said to her, when you lead with love, right? Even if you don't agree, but when you lead with love, things will be so much better. And you may need some time to come around. You may not come around. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that you got to do this. You are a mother. You are a matriarch. You are someone that's at the head of the... I'm telling you just to lead with love. That's it. So that's the answer to my question on that. I'm going to put that up there. Let me take a sip. No. Because see, here's my thing. Somebody said, well, Titan, what if, this and that? But where's the disrespect? If I'm coming to you and I'm telling you how I am living this life, how is that disrespectful to you? You just heard me say, right? Now, I can't speak for the gentleman. Her question was her question to me as a mother, right? What I can speak on is my experience. It took me a long time to get to the point to where I was okay even sitting here telling you all that I'm a black gay man living with HIV. How long did it take me to get to this point? And then once I do get there, once I do say these things, you tell me that and as y'all have seen on here, I'm an abomination. I need to repent. That's not of God. And you get to tell me these things because of what you believe in. But you don't ever ask yourself, how do I feel? Meaning me. As you are out here living your life, doing the things that you are doing. But I got to keep this in the closet, as they say, because I don't think I was ever in the closet. But I do love a good bag. Never stop. But anyways, I have to keep it under wraps. I've heard people say, oh, well, you don't have to be that gay. Well, what is that gay? I remember being young and out in the neighborhood, right? Running around like all the kids, but I was wrong. Then I had someone stand in front of me and tell me that I was doing something that I was never doing. So to answer the question again and to say it again, right? I'm not trying to change her mind. She asked me a question. What I'm asking her to do is look with her heart. You love your son. That was the first question I asked. Do you love your son? Yes, Titan, I love him. Well, if you love him, then you lead with love. If you love him, you listen to him. And if you value the relationship that you all have, then you try and understand, which I don't think is that hard. I think what we do is that we say no, 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 because it's a bad thing, right? We villainized being gay or queer or being LGBTQIA+. We've put it on the villains list. You are a villain. And it doesn't matter whether or not you lied, cheated, stole, whatever you've done. Being queer is up there. You will give restitution to somebody that has physically harmed somebody. You'll give restitution to somebody that has SA'd someone. You'll give restitution to somebody that's unalived someone. But you will not give a listening ear or an open heart to someone that's queer, to someone that's LGBTQIA+. How, Sway? Make it make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. I love you, but you can't do that. You didn't tell the one that went and stole and robbed somebody, oh, I love you, but don't you go robbing no more. You know what I'm saying? You let them go on about their life. Well, you know what? They had hard times and, and they just really trying to live their life. But I come to you and I say, well, I've been feeling this way since as long as I can remember. And I'm finally walking in my truth. I love you, but you're going to hell. The what? Wait, what? So they just hurt somebody in the process, and they get a second chance? I ain't did none of that. I'm just living my life and being who I am. It's the double standards, y'all, right? So that was the question. I answered it. Y'all let me know what y'all thinking and how y'all feel, but that's what I told her. That's what I told her. Hey, Mark, good morning. Hey, Bo, good morning. Said great message. Thank you so much over on Instagram. Thank you so much. Hey, Podbean, good morning. Well, no, I don't have to. So here's my thing. All I'm asking is that you give your son or the person, the individual that's coming to you, right? Give them the same opportunity, availability that you've given everybody else. That's it. But if you love your son, then that shouldn't be a problem. Hold on, y'all. Let me go in. I'm going in. We moving on through this day. Hold on. Wait a minute. I got two. Hold on. All right, let me put it down. Hold on. Okay. How young is too young to start talking to your grandchild about their sexuality? The question is, how young is too young to start talking to your child or grandchild about their sexuality? Let me say this. I had to sip. Probably need to sip one more time. Hold on. Let me say this. How young is too young to start talking to your child or grandchild about their sexuality? I'm going to do it in reverse. Right? How old is too old to start talking to them about their sexuality? That's how I'm going to turn it. Because obviously, right? Obviously, this child or grandchild is already showing you signs, right? Because that's what you're asking, right? They're already going through the motions and things like that. This is what you're saying. I think you have to truly understand what that is. Now, I, as early as 5, knew something was different, right? Not only did society tell me something was different, but I felt different. I didn't act like everyone else, according to what people were doing. I thought I was a regular child, right? I think that how old is too old, right? Too late is when it's already out there. When the child is already experiencing bullying and trauma and stigma around sexuality. I think it's wrong for you not to tell a child at the age, right, that they are about what's going on in the world, because the world is going to tell them. So I don't know that there is a too young, because once they start showing you who they are, you need to talk to them about that. A lot of times as parents, you don't have the capability, or you don't have the depth or the capacity to talk to them about what they're going through, because you hid whatever it is that you were doing. I'm not saying that you're LGBTQIA+. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that because we do not do things head on, because we don't approach things at that time, people are always saying, let a child be a child. Well, if a child is out there being bullied, if a child is being attacked, if a child is being ridiculed, if a child is being told that they should not be on this earth, now is the time. And some of you, right, have seen this at the age of 3, the age of 5. Some of you have seen it in the children before the children even knew what it was. But I think you are wrong. And I'm going to say it like this because I think it's a bad thing for you to want to correct the child and the child doesn't even understand what they're doing, how they're living, what they're being. You understand what I'm saying? Like they don't even know what this is. But the internet can teach them. The streets are going to teach them. People out there are going to be cruel and nasty to them because that's what society does. And you are telling me that they are too young to know about this? You are telling me to take this away from them? Do not discuss this with them? Do you know that kids younger and younger are out here in this world and there are bad things in this world? These children need to be equipped with the knowledge, the understanding, and the know-how. There used to be a time where they taught you these things in school. There used to be a time where your parents sat you down and told you what this was. Because you give your children rose-colored glasses and send them outside, the world is not going to be as nice and rock them slow. No. The world is going to re-traumatize them again and again and again because they don't have the knowledge. They don't have the understanding. Kids grow up. Your body starts to change. Things happen. And at this point in their lives, they need to have questions answered. Not sit down over there. That ain't what boys do. I'm going to beat it out of you. I'm going to send you away. What are we doing? How young is too young to start talking to your child or grandchild about their sexuality? I don't think that there's a too young. I think when you see it and they are asking questions, why their body is changing, why they see things. And this is something that I want to tell you all. Children know. Children see. Back in the day, my mother and grandmother and the elders in the family, they used to say, get out of grown people's business. Stop sitting up in grown people's spaces. Because, you know, some kids would just be sitting right there like, boy, go play. Go to bed. Y'all, what we have done is that we have allowed the world to shape our children. We have allowed the world to make our children something that they're not. As Whitney said, the children are our future. We have to teach them well and let them lead the way. You can't teach them well and let them lead the way if you're leaving out a big chunk of their life. If you're leaving out a big chunk of how the world is. Y'all, we have everything at our fingertips now. All I got to do is press a button. Most children know how to work these devices better than you do. And you're going to tell me that you don't want to teach them anything? But they go to school and they learn these things. But from your house to the school, do you know the distance? And I want you to think about it like this. Do you know what they can see along the way? Do you know? I believe that you are to talk to them about their sexuality when the time arises. At whatever age that is. Because I guarantee you, if you don't give them the answers, they're going to go to somebody else and ask the question. And when they go to that person and ask the question, the person that answer it is not going to give it to them lovingly. The person that answers it is not going to ask them whether or not they have experienced it, whether or not they have done this, whether or not they have done all of those things. I'm waiting. You tell me. Because this is what they say. So this is what they tell me. And I thank God I am who I am, and that people trust me in this, right? But people will tell you, don't talk to my son, don't be around that. When I was first when I first started announcing and identifying the way that I do, a lot of times people would say that they didn't want me around their children because somehow I was going to be the Pied Piper and lead them into the darkness. Right? And rightfully so, because that's what society thinks. They think we are some type of pedo degenerates. Yeah. There was this young boy who was about 5. He was a grandson. The mother and father were whooping him, and some people say beating him to beat the gay out of him because no son of theirs was going to be gay. The mother and father got into it with the grandparent because the grandparent was consoling the son, loving the son, allowing the son to be who they were. 5 years old. It was a big family rift. They were against the grandmother doing that. They even told the grandmother that the son could not come over there no more. They're not going to do that. And the son was crying and screaming and hollering to go see his grandmama. Right? Could you imagine, as parents, you are taking the only safe and brave space that this child knows, because y'all are too ignorant to understand what he's going through. And the grandparent even said, she said, Titan, I don't agree with this like this, but that's my grandson. And I love him. And he's being hurt. And so as a grandmother, as the matriarch of this family, that's my grandson, and I'm going to protect him at all costs. And I said, and you should, and do, and will. The father says straight up, he ain't taking his but over there no more, because you're trying to make him a issy. You're trying to make him this. And she said, I'm not trying to make him anything. She said, but my baby came in here crying. My baby wasn't his usual self. He wasn't happy-go-lucky. He wasn't full of life. My baby is very talented. And now he don't want to do nothing. So Titan, what do I do? And I said, you continue to love him. You continue to love him, but you put that hammer down on that mama and that daddy. I know that's their child, but how dare you do that to that child? You don't know what he's going to be in the future. You don't know what God bestowed up in him. And you're going to try to beat this out of him. And you don't even see the damage that you're doing. She said she went to bat for her grandchild. Cussed them all out. Told them that she was going to call, she was going to do what she had to do. Right? If y'all don't want him, I'll take him. You know? Like, that's not what we doing. And she said, Titan, I just wanted to know, was I in the right? I said, yes. Y'all, I'm not. Your child is your child. But sometimes, y'all, as parents, sometimes y'all go way too far with this thing, right? Not that he's smart. Not that he's talented, not that he's creative, not that this child could be somebody, I don't know, could be a singer, a dancer, could be president, could be an astronaut, could be all of those things. And because he is acting like a issy, this is what they said. You choose to stifle him. You choose to tell him that it ain't no gonna be in my family. You can't be my son and be like that. Y'all, what does that do to a child? So how young is too young? I don't know that too young is even a thing. Because I'm telling you now, and I want to say this loud and clear, and I want to say it to those of you in the nosebleed and sitting right there in the mezzanine. If you don't teach them, if you don't love them right where they're at in this moment, at that age, the world is going to do it for you. And when the world does it for you, there is no way that you can rewind and go back to the innocence that's lost. Because once it's gone, it's gone. And then you're going to hope and pray that it doesn't manifest as something else. This is the way the world works. When you are able to roam free, when you are able to be who you are, your talents, your creativity flows. When you put me in a cage, in a box, when you put parameters around me that I cannot exercise, I can't let go, I can't be who God made me to be, things will change. Things will sit and fester. And the once thing that was light will become dark. And you then have another situation on your hands. And so somebody said, oh, well, Titan, you always going spiritual. No. Do things grow in the dark? Yes. But if you were meant to be in the light, you will not prosper in the dark. Slowly but surely, it will chip away at you. Slowly but surely, you will cease to exist in the way that God put you on this earth to exist. Some of y'all not going to get it until you through the parking lot. Some of y'all not going to get it until you get on the light rail. Some of y'all not going to get it until you get on that 737 and get to flying to another state or another country. Some of y'all are not going to get it. And why don't you get it? So yes, I told her, love him. Do what you have to do for him, because that's another soul, a special light being snuffed out because of ignorance. Because you don't want him to be gay. You don't want him to be a issy. You don't want him to do that. Do you know when you snuff out this over here? You snuff out this over here? When you mess with my heart and my soul and my essence, you mess with my mind. When you mess with my heart and my soul and my essence, and it goes to my mind, then it goes to my spirit. Then it goes to my body. And y'all, once it's been there, once it stays there for year after year after year after year, it is so hard to unlearn that you are the bad guy. All because you wanted to live your life. All because you wanted to do that. All because your family, your mother and father, or your mother or your father or your grandparents made a decision that you were too young to understand what was happening to you. You were too young to understand the bullying. You were too young to understand the trauma. You were too young to understand the SA that was happening to you. You were too young. And now they want to tell you now, but the deed has been done. The trauma has happened. You are living trauma every single day. Y'all, we got to be careful. Our children are telling us what's happening. They're telling us what's going on. But because of society, because the way the world is, you want to tell them that they're too young to know about that. But they've already been taught the lesson. The assignment has already been given. The homework is yours. The assignment has already been given. They are out here. This world is teaching them by whooping them constantly. And you are telling me that they shouldn't know? As if you're going to unleash the beast? Hmm. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me. Hey, Larry, good morning. All right, y'all, let me go in here. Because I said I was going to answer these questions today, baby. Yes, indeed. Queen said, putting limitations on when is an issue that causes the problem. Come on. Come on, because so this is what I want to say to you all. Like, I don't want you to do anything. I don't want you to hey, Rock Beast over on Podbean, good morning. I don't want you to ever do anything that's against who you are. But what we have to do, we gotta stop putting parameters around what people know. And it's 2026. You think a child don't know? You think they don't know? Man, y'all gotta stop. All right. From my DM, can I lay on your chest? Yes, indeed you can. Okay. So y'all, here lately, I've been wearing things that have been revealing of my chest, right? And so this particular person, I know them. I've seen them out. They wanted to lay on my chest. Yes, you can lay on my chest, right? I'm single. I ain't with nobody, so yes, you can. I, ah, okay. Hold on. No, I'm just not gonna slide. Look, I ain't got no problem with it. I'm single. I'm single, and if you want to lay on my chest, then you come on. You ask me, you know, and we can talk. We can talk. Look, they got me cheesing like an old chester cat. Hold on, I'm gonna sip a little bit. No, I just took the look. So here goes sorry. You did this deliberately. No, I took the questions, right? I didn't say which ones. I took the questions and I put them in, printed them out, and we put them into the bowl, and I don't know no different. I'm just gonna go through the bowl, like I said. It's whatever. It's whatever. Yes. Okay, Linda blushing. Lay on my chest. Yes, indeed. So the next question or statement is, why do y'all try and put this on people? I'm gonna tell y'all where this came from. Basically, they are saying, why do I try and put my gayness, my queerness, put the LGBTQIA plus agenda on people? I remember this because this person came into my live, told me that I needed to repent, told me that this wasn't of God, and then went to my DMs, to my inbox, and a whole lengthy thing, right? And part of this was, one of the questions was, why do y'all try and put this on people? I don't put this on nobody, right? I'm not trying to put this on anybody, but I can't live my life. Y'all, this is where things get tricky, because this person is saying that I'm putting this on you, but I'm living my life. If you don't like it, keep swiping. If you don't like it, keep going. If you don't like it, pass me up. But if you stop and engage with me, right, then I'm not putting this on you. You came here. There are billions of people on this earth. You can choose who you deal with and who you talk to. So I'm not putting this on anybody. But y'all, here's the other part. I'm not going to sit up here and try to compromise with you about what I'm doing. I'm not going to sit up here and argue with you that I'm not putting this on somebody. What I'm going to tell you is, right, that I am who I am. And if you roll up in here, then you roll up in here. But you can't come to my space, my place and tell me not to exist. And then expect me to apologize for existing. I don't have an agenda. I'm not putting this on anybody. But why do I have to always clarify that? You get to live your life, go out here and do what you do on a daily basis. And do you have to clarify? Y'all, because I'm on this public platform, sometimes people take things and run with it. And I'm saying, that's not what I said. Where did you get that from? So no, I'm not trying to put this on nobody. That's not what we do. I'm going in again. Let's see. I'm going to try to get through this before we get out of here today, y'all. Let's see. Oh, so this must have been a part of that. Y'all have an agenda. I don't have an agenda, right? I don't have an agenda. But let's just be clear. If the word LGBTQIA+, right? The words, if the word gay, if the word homosexual exists in this world, and heterosexual exists in this world, neither one of us was privy to this prior to us being in this world, then I can't live my life. Me living my life the way that I live it is an agenda. As if there are not things in this world that you cannot explain. There are not things in this world that you cannot. Thank you so much. Hey, Low-Key. Hey, G-Son. Hey. Hey, HMTK. Said, good morning, preacher. Good morning. All right, watch out now. You know, they be saying I can't be a preacher because, you know, I'm living my life. No, just kidding. But yeah, I don't have an agenda. But if you can be who you are and live your life, and me not calling an agenda, then I most definitely can live mine. That's all I'm saying. HMTK said, you are called to, baby. Don't let them fool you. Indeed. We're not finna play that game. And y'all, what is it? And Linda said right on. And what is it that makes you think it's okay to tell somebody that their life is an agenda? All right, y'all. Let's. I'm going back in. Tweety said, you can explain, but there are so many small-minded people in the world. Indeed. Indeed. And then people feel sometimes like they can tell you these things because that's what they believe. And that's what they're going to do. And I'm saying, no. Y'all, here we go. Are you single? Yes, I'm single. Yes, I am single. Y'all, you know what? You know what? These questions here, look, randomly selected, but I'm going to have to start looking these over next time because y'all trying to make me blush in here this morning. Okay, you make me hold on. Y'all, let me tell you, I answer these questions just like anybody. That's what we do. Okay? I only got, I think, 3 left. So let me go ahead on and do that. And then we can discuss a little bit if y'all don't mind. All right, this is the next question. Oh, well, okay. What should I do now that I know my son has full-blown AIDS? What should I do now that I know my son has full-blown AIDS? Right? So y'all, here's a couple of things that I want to preface in this. I answer the questions in my DMs and my inbox the way that they come, right? And we know that this is not the verbiage or the language that we want to use when we're talking about HIV and AIDS. I don't believe, right, that everybody is privy to language that's not stigmatizing and traumatizing, right? A lot of times people don't know. So once I tell you, or once I educate you, right, and then you come back and do the same thing, then we have a problem. But asking me the question is not a problem because I'm going to answer it. And this is somebody who's older, because this has been the verbiage back in the day, full blown, right? So what I want to say to you all is that you can say that you're someone living with HIV and you're at a latter stage of HIV, right? Possibly even a stage 3, right? Where it would be considered that you have AIDS. You with me? And so I want to talk about that. And I want to do a little something. So number one, we're going to change the language, right? We're going to change the language. We can say that they're at a later stage of HIV, if you want to say that, right? Or they had an AIDS diagnosis, right? And I want to explain that. Just hold on a second. Okay. A lot of times what we do is we go in on people because they are using this language. It's stigmatizing and it's traumatizing. But sometimes people don't know. Now, I'm not going to say that everybody doesn't know, but sometimes people don't know. And I believe that my job, what I'm here to do, is to make sure that we are seen, heard, and understood. So therefore, I did not respond to this person nasty, ugly, things like that, because sometimes they don't know. Some people in my own community use language that's stigmatizing and traumatizing against our own community. This person was trying to understand, right? So I gave them that freebie because they were trying to understand. And I told them that this is the language that we're going to use. They said, well, Titan, teach me because I don't know. And I'm sorry that I disrespected you or I may have upset you. And I said, you didn't disrespect me or upset me. Thank you for asking. Right? Because in my lifetime, I've heard full-blown AIDS. I've heard that. In a time where I was growing up, in a time in the 80s and 90s, you with me? That was something that was going around. So I had to show this individual some grace because they don't know. Now, after we've been around each other, we done been in each other's space and place, and I done told you it's stigmatizing, I done told you it's traumatizing, and you continue to do it and do it and do it, then we have a problem. But in this moment, they were asking for clarity. They were asking for knowledge and understanding. Y'all with me this morning? Hey, Larry, good morning. I think I said good morning to you, Larry, but I'm going to say good morning again. Hey, determined to succeed. Good morning. Good morning to you. Okay? Yes. So Tweety said, but you can get HIV other ways, not just from being gay. People need to understand that. Yes, indeed. And so here's my thing. This is the reason why I answer these DMs and these inboxes, because a lot of times people are ignorant to the fact. And let me say it to you like this. I'm not giving them an excuse, Tweety, by no means, right? Because I think knowledge is power. And I think that society or the world has taught us that being derogatory towards something that they deem derogatory is the way to go, right? They don't look at it like that. It doesn't affect me, so I'm going to say what I say. This is what everybody else is saying, right? So that's what I'm going to do. Hey, cousin, good morning. Hey, Gigi, good morning to you. Hey, Anjay. Anjay said, good morning, everyone. Hey, Anjay, good morning to you. Yes, I'm going to read it again, right? What should I do now that I know my son has full-blown AIDS, right? So let's talk about it really quickly. So a couple of things that I want to do this morning with that question, right? Knowledge is power. Knowledge is key. So what I would like for you all to do, and you can do it on your own time, and when you do that, and this is what I told her, right? This is what I told her. We're going to go through it, but I want you to have it at your fingertips. So you can go to hiv.gov, right? Or the CDC, but hiv.gov, right? And you can look up HIV, right? You can put in HIV in the search engine and go ahead and look up HIV. Now, here's what I want to say to you all. It has a part that says HIV health and wellness, right? And then it says about HIV and AIDS. What are HIV and AIDS? And now you click on that, right? You click on that. And y'all, this is what we have to do. I'm going to tell you about it. We're going to be about it. We're going to love and do all of that. But how do you know what's what and you don't have the knowledge? Y'all with me? So this is what I told this individual, and this is how we got to the point to where you understand that full-blown AIDS is not a thing. Okay, here we go. All right, now at your fingertips, we all got smartphones, we all got things, right? So we can look this up, hiv.gov, right? Now, y'all, something that I want to say to you all, okay, that I had to learn about my own diagnosis. I had to understand, because if I was listening to people just in the community back then in 2005 when I was diagnosed, right, I didn't know nothing. And remember, the doctor came in and said, you have AIDS, and walked out of the room. So me being diagnosed with AIDS and only having 4 T cells, I didn't know what T cells were. I didn't know what AIDS was. I didn't know what was happening to my body. I didn't know none of that. And so when this person asked the question, right, I could be upset. I could be angry. I could do all of the things. But where is that going to get me? What is that going to do for my community? What is that going to do for my village, my tribe, my gang, and my chosen family? What does that do? That's the question I had to ask, right? Although I had been done wrong, although my diagnosis wasn't the best, do I continue to put this nastiness out into the world, or do I educate myself and then I make sure that my village, my tribe, my gang, and my chosen family, they got it as well? And I was like, y'all check me if I don't know. And y'all, that's why now I have the Titan Capri experience, because I want people to have a human experience. I believe that you have the right to ask the question and gain knowledge without feeling as if you can't ask the question. Somebody said to me the other day, well, Titan, people always come to you and talk to you. That's because I am who I am, right? That's because I took the time to listen and hear. Y'all, when I hurt somebody, I hurt my community. So how do I expect you to like and love me and understand where I'm coming from if I don't give you the same grace? All right, now let's come on back to it, right? So let me ask the question. I'm going to put it one more time, right? What should I do now that I know my son has full-blown AIDS, right? HIV.gov. Summary, right? There's a summary right there. You can summarize that, but we're going to say, what is HIV? We're going to start there, right? We're going to start there. HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. Y'all have heard me say before that I am the H in HIV. I'm human, right? That's what we do. Now, HIV. What is HIV? You must know what it is. Those three letters, right, just were not put there like that just because. Human immunodeficiency virus. Those three letters. So y'all, if y'all are going to be down with me, y'all are going to know me, y'all are going to be in my village, my tribe, my gang, you must know. If I identify like this, if I identify this way, if I am who I am, those parts of me, you must know them. All right, here we go. HIV is a virus that attacks cells that help the body fight off infection, right? Your body is a filtration system. Your body will do what it needs to do in order for you to stay healthy and be healthy. If a foreign object comes into your body, right, those cells will go out and attack it to make sure that you're good to go. Now, making a person more vulnerable to other infections and diseases. Okay? It is spread by contact with certain bodily fluids of a person living with HIV. Most commonly, and they say unprotected sex, but yes, it can be transmitted through sex. Sex without a condom or HIV medicine to prevent or treat HIV, right? Or through sharing injection drug equipment. So there are ways for you to be HIV to be transmitted to you. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? There is no cure. And if HIV is left untreated, you with me? It can lead to AIDS, right? And we say a latter stage of HIV, right? But I was diagnosed with AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Y'all with me? Okay, let's just make no. I just want to make sure that we're clear, right? Because here's the thing. The assignment, right, is not for me to correct you and make sure that you know you've been corrected. The assignment is for me to make sure that you are seen and heard and understood. Meaning that I need to let you know where I came from so you know where I'm at. Y'all with me this morning? Okay, y'all stay with me. Stay with me. It's right here at your fingertips. You can go right to it, right? I'm going to always be somebody let you know, right? Now, here's the thing. They said full blown. Now, we talked about HIV, okay? So AIDS is the late stage of HIV that occurs when the body's immune system is badly damaged because of the virus. The latter stage of HIV, meaning that HIV has been in your system, right? And that it has not been checked. So y'all with me on that? That's the word that I'm using, right? It's in your system and you don't know. You with me? It's in your system and it has not been detected. Okay? All right. AIDS is the later stage of HIV that occurs when the body's immune system is badly damaged because of the virus. Okay? A person is considered to have progressed to AIDS, a latter stage of HIV, when the number of their CD4 cells falls below 200 cells per cubic milliliter of blood. Right? Y'all stay with me. Right? That's number one. CD4 cells. Okay. If you know somebody that's living with HIV, it's good for you to know these things so that you can be on point with that. Now, y'all, I'm not saying that you got to be a doctor and have a degree, but it's good for you to know who's in your circle, what's going on. So in case something happens, you already know. Or in case you get a question like this, you know how to answer it. You with me? Right. A person with HIV is considered to have progressed to the latter stage of HIV or AIDS when the number of their CD4 cells fall below 200 cells per cubic milliliter. Now, the little bitty drop of blood, milliliter drop, y'all know that's small, right? Okay. That's how we know, right? Your blood tells you where you're at. So with me, my CD4 cell count is always 1,000 and above, right? Always 1,000 and above because I'm on my treatment. I take my medication. I do the things that I need to do. It's always that. But last year, my CD4 cells, right, dropped down to 27. I was going through some things. I was sick. I wasn't taking my medication like life was lifing, right? So in reality, y'all with me? In reality, I was at what they consider an AIDS diagnosis. You with me? Okay. Now, the thing that is with AIDS is that you've probably heard AIDS-related complications or AIDS-related death or whatever have you. That's because your immune system has been compromised to the point that your cells there's not enough cells to fight off anything. The common cold, right? Pneumonia, any other thing that may come in, right? You don't have enough cells to fight off these things, right? And that's what AIDS does. When you get to that point, right? That's why early detection, that's why being tested, that's why knowing your status is so important, okay? So here we are. We are at HIV, right? Now your CD4 cells need to be above 200, right? Now, can you survive under 200? Yes, you can. I did. I only had 4 T cells at the time of my diagnosis. You can get back. You can get those cells because, like I said, for the last 18 years, right, I have always been 1,000 plus. Yeah, I think, 1,000 plus. So you can do that. So we don't want to use the word full-blown AIDS. That's not what we're doing. We're saying a latter stage of HIV, or if you want to use AIDS, you can use AIDS. Now, a lot of people have stopped using the word AIDS, but y'all, that's how I was diagnosed, so I will still use it because it's part of my story. I thought my life was over, right? I thought my life was over. They will tell you that 9 times out of 10, right? You have time. Like, that's how getting to know your status. And so somebody said, but knowing your status is this and that, and you could be infecting and stuff like that. Y'all, I don't like using the word infecting because I don't think that I'm infecting anybody with anything. A lot of times you don't know that you're someone living with HIV because it takes time. You with me? Everybody is different. Everybody is different. Here's the other part. How do you know if you're someone living with HIV? You must get tested. You must get tested. Y'all, it's not a gay disease. It's not a gay virus. It is a human virus. Get tested. Know your status. get tested and know your status. All right, y'all, let me go back. HIV.gov. What is HIV? Human immunodeficiency virus, right? It's a virus that attacks cells that help the body fight off infection, making a person more vulnerable, right, to infections and disease. Now, y'all, I'm using the word infections in the sense of that's what they're called. STIs, sexually transmitted infections, things like that. So that's the reason I'm using that. So today I'm going to use some language. I've been using some language that people may not agree with. People don't get it, right? But I was diagnosed with AIDS. So I'm using AIDS because that's part of my language. That's part of my journey, right? You do what you feel with that. But we're not saying full-blown AIDS. That's not what words matter, right? Words matter. And y'all, sometimes people use those things as derogatory means to make you feel some kind of way about your status and about who you are. You with me? So this particular person asked the question, and that's the answer that I gave them. I took them on a history lesson, and I even told them about my own journey, right? Her son, right, is not leaving this earth just yet. As long as we get tested and we know the status and we know what the treatment is, and we get into treatment and we do it pretty quickly and we will make sure that we are good. That's why we have to make sure, because sometimes if you haven't been tested for 2 years, you don't know when the virus entered your body, right? And let's be clear, not everybody's using condoms, because if everybody was using condoms, and this is the world's greatest way of not, if everybody was using them, me and you wouldn't be sitting here. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. No. Call a thing a thing. Because I couldn't be sitting here if that was the case in point. Oh, okay then. Okay. Y'all want to demean people and tell people that they are wrong, but in this world, we got different people that do different things, and that's the way it should be. So she asked the question, and I gave her a history lesson, but also I let her understand that those words like that, things like that, when you are having conversations with people, your dialogue means words have power. Words have power to be able to let you open up and tell the world who you are and be like Titan and be on this journey. And I don't mind telling you my story, but words also have the power to shut you down, to lock you in a cage, to put you back in that closet, in that box. Words have power. And thank God that she was somebody that listened and understood where I was coming from. HIV.gov. That can be your go-to. But any HIV organization, any organization that has programs that are geared toward HIV, that support the HIV community, can give you this information. But off the bat, HIV.gov. Go and just read about the history. Read about where HIV came from. Because here's the thing, right? Read about HIV, read about AIDS, understand what it is. Because if you are somebody that knows me, if you are somebody, and you don't have to be gay, you don't have to be homosexual, you don't have to be LGBTQIA+, if you are heterosexual, woman, man, and you know me and you consider me to be a friend, then knowledge is power. And that's the way that you can support me and uplift me, by having the knowledge. Y'all with me? Y'all, I don't believe in all the big words. I don't believe in you got to do this and do that. I believe HIV.gov is something simple. I believe go to your local organizations that work with people, work with the community, that work with the HIV community, that work with LGBTQIA+ community, that work with people, well women, doctors, but go there and get the information that's needed, right? Because the more you know, right, the better you are. Y'all with me? So this person here, I thank them for the comment, because the question, because this is what was needed. This is what was needed. Y'all with me this morning? Okay, yes, that's it right there. Okay, indeed, indeed. All right, y'all. Hold on. I got two left. I'm going to take them both out at the same time. This morning, we are talking about the DMs and the inbox. All right. Somebody said, can I play in your locks? Yes, indeed. Look, look, look. If me and you are a little special like that, you know what I mean? You can play in my locks. And then look, I am a sucker for somebody rubbing my head, scratching out my head when I'm ailing, okay? Or plaiting my hair or doing anything. So I'm a sucker for that. So yes, you can play in my locks. And I know who you are. I know that where that question came from. Thank you so much. Thank you. Next time I see you, you can play in my locks, okay? Look. Y'all done made me blush 3 times a day. I don't know what's happening. I think I'm going to vet these questions from here on out. All right, this is the last one. It's a statement. You are an abomination. You are an abomination. Y'all, I want to tell y'all something. I'm a black gay man living with HIV and celebrating 21 years. I am God's child. I am a father. I am a brother. I'm a veteran. I'm a son, a grandson. I am a friend. I am a lover. I'm a confidant. I'm black. I'm human. I don't believe God made a mistake. I don't believe I'm an abomination. Because the same way that God gave you the things that God gave you, God gave me the same thing. I don't have to aspire to that. And so somebody said, well, tell them this and block it. Y'all, that was put in my inbox. And y'all, I've had far worse in my inbox. And then some people say, well, Titan, why do you do it? I do it because of this. This is why I do it. Because people want to believe that I'm an abomination, but I haven't done anything wrong. I wasn't born differently than you. I'm just living my life. And y'all, hold on. That's not me trying to get you to please love me, please. No. That's just me stating facts. Y'all, that used to bother me. That kept me in the back. That kept me from being who I am. That kept me from doing the things that I do. Because somebody church hurt me years and years, long before I really realized who I was. I want to say this to all of you out there, for you and also for me. There will be people that will tell you you are something other than what God made you to be. There will be people that'll be envious of who you are because you are living loud and proud. There will be people that are looking at you through the side eye because you are doing the things that you are doing. There will be people that will call you an abomination. There will be people that will tell you to repent. There will be people that will say that you no longer deserve to be here. And I want to say to you this morning, you are special. God made you differently. God made you to live your life the way that you live your life, not the way others want you to live it. The word stung. That phrase stung. Notice I said stung. It don't still sting, but it stung back then. Y'all, I am secure in who I am and what I am and what God made me to be. So I'm good. I'm good. The reality of it is that I am no different than you. I am not something otherworldly. I am not something that is derogatory. I am not a sin. We have to be careful, y'all. Words have meaning. Words have power. So I want to say to all of the naysayers that feel that abomination should leave their lips and be attached to somebody else, mind your time. You are going to have to answer for this to your God if you believe in that. I'm not going to let that sit on me. You don't get to put that on me, and I just take it. 2 tears in a bucket, mother. We good. We good. Whoever you are out there that's listening, looking, watching, hearing, feeling this, you are not an abomination. You are God's child, just like that person that said you were an abomination is God's child. Are there things in life that we're going to do differently? Yes, because we are made unique. I didn't choose this life, but what I did choose is to be who I am. Now that I chose. If I'm an abomination to you, you got to ask yourself, what abomination are you to somebody else? For you to wake up in the morning, or wake up whenever you wake up, and to tell somebody that they are not God's child, when you don't even know whether or not you're God's child. You don't even know what an abomination is. But it flies so easily off your lips. Here's my thing. If God put me on this earth to do me, to be me, you don't get to control how I show up. You don't get to put me back in a box because it's an affront to your very nature. That's not your right. You don't get to do that. So I'm talking to you out there, whoever you are right here, but I'm also talking to me. You stand firm in who you are. You stand firm in the person that God made you to be. You stand 10 toes down in the fact that you are who you are. You stand 10 toes down that you are the creative. You are the blessed individual that God made you to be. Sometimes we got to grow into who we are. You with me? And there's people like that want to tell you that you are something other than what God made you to be. Don't let them play with you like that. Don't let them think that you for play. You ain't for play. You are God's child and you do what God put you on this earth to do. I stood back there years on top of years on top of years, not doing what God put me on this earth to do because somebody said that I was wrong for being who God made me to be. I was wrong for showing up the way that I showed up. I was wrong for being who I truly feel that I am. I was wrong. I'm going to tell you, God didn't make a mistake. Your power, your position, and your purpose is rooted in what God put you on this earth to do. If that's what you believe. If you believe that your God put you on this earth, because, you know, they tell you that that's not their God. Because their God wouldn't condone this. But how do I know your God? You ain't never seen your God, heard from your, like, how do I know? Because we both were placed here on this earth. We both came here the same way. You mean to tell me you already knew what this was before you got here? No. You already knew who your parents were before you got here? No. You already knew that you were going to have this skin color before you got here? You were going to have 10 toes. You're going to have 10 fingers. You were going to have brown eyes, blue eyes. You knew this already. I could not have told you that that's what I was going to do. 21 years ago, being diagnosed with AIDS, I couldn't have told you that I'd be sitting here today answering your questions in my DMs and my inbox and being totally transparent about what I'm doing. You feel me? I couldn't have told you that the way I came into this earth was going to be the way that it was. I couldn't have told you this because I didn't know. So how can I be an abomination on something that I had nothing to do with? Y'all, we got to stop. We got to stop playing in each other's faces. This world has enough nastiness and ugliness. We don't need no more. We don't need no more. So thank you all so much this morning for being in. I appreciate you. Thank y'all so much for always showing up and taking care of me and supporting me. Thank you all for loving me right where I'm at in this moment. And I want you to do the same thing. So this morning, y'all, those of you who are still on, those of you who are watching, listening, going to see this and hear this later on, I want you to take a moment right where you're at in this moment. And I want you to hug yourself. I want you to hug yourself, right? Because I want you to love yourself right where you're at. God didn't make a mistake. God did not make a mistake. Will things happen to you? Yes. Will things happen in your life? Yes. But I want you to understand what you are here for. We were all born with the light. And because this world can be a mean and ugly place sometimes, but also a glorious thing, our light may have dimmed. But I want to say this to you. As long as I can, as long as I draw breath in this body, I'm going to continue to push and fight and educate and do the things that I do. Because God told me in that hospital bed 21 years ago that you got a purpose, you got work to do. Who am I to say when it was going to come? But I knew that I was put on this earth for a reason. So this morning, I want you to take these hands and these arms, and if you can't do it physically, do it mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And I want you to say to yourself this morning, right? I love you right where you're at in this moment. And then I want you to hug yourself. I don't care. I don't care how it is. I want you to hug yourself. And I want this to be a staple of your day going forward. Hug yourself and acknowledge that you are God's child and you were not a mistake. So take these arms and these hands. If you can't do it physically, do it mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And I'm going to count to 3. And what I want you to do is to repeat these words. Put your name where my name is. Titan, I love you right where you're at in this moment. Titan, I love you right where you're at in this moment. You will have other moments, but you will not have this moment. Titan, I love you right where you're at in this moment. Put your name where my name is. Put them arms and these hands up. And on the count of 3, I want you to hug yourself and say those words, right? And I want you to hug yourself like when the children hug each other or they be so exaggerated. I want you to hug yourself like that. You deserve a hug. You deserve love. Peace is your birthright. So I want you to do that. All right, y'all ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Titan, I love you right where you're at in this moment. Oh, Titan, I love you right where you're at in this moment. Titan, I love you right where you're at in this moment. Titan, I love you right where you're at in this moment. Ooh. Hug yourself. Because if you can't love yourself, ain't nobody else going to love you. Hug yourself. And know that you are blessed. Thank y'all so much this morning. I appreciate you. I love y'all. And thank y'all so much for coming in and doing all of that. Always, always, always love yourself right where you're at in this moment. Right? You will have other moments, but you will not have this moment again. Make sure that you are good. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Until next time, y'all be blessed. This was good. It's been a while since I've done the DMs and the inbox, but this was good. Thank y'all for that. Thank y'all. Thank everybody for the questions and the statements and the comments. I love all of this, right? And I think that sometimes we need a little bit of reality. And that's what we needed this morning. So thank y'all so much. All right, y'all, before I get out of here, TikTok, y'all tippity tap the middle of that screen. Let me know that y'all are in. I got a goal, some things over there. Let me know if y'all can help me out with the goal. Go on over to the TikTok shop and get y'all a nice old Titan in the Morning mug, t-shirt, candles, socks, all of that good stuff. YouTube, Facebook, Insta, Podbean, X. Y'all show me some thumbs up, show me some hearts, show me some love, show me all of that good stuff over there, right? Like, follow, share, subscribe. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's Titan in the Morning, and that's what we do. That's what we do. Thank y'all so much. Until next time, y'all be blessed, all right? Okay, yes, indeed. All right, we're going to get out of here. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. All right, y'all. So I had wrote, did all this good stuff, and then I got here and I was like, yeah, that's not it. My spirit said to do something different, and I'm going to do something different. What I want to talk about real quick is that being worthy. A lot of us are worthy because we think that's what worthy should be, right? But you're worthy to be loved. You're worthy to be yourself. You're worthy to be just who God made you. You are worthy. So tonight I want to do a little something that's worthy. If y'all would with me. A little audience participation. Can I get y'all? Yeah. All right. So I do this thing called a Titans Groove, right? Every Monday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, YouTube Live, Facebook Live. Just a shameless plug, real quick. Y'all come check me out. But what I do is this, Titan Groove. And so what I want to encourage you to do tonight is to be worthy in your groove. Whatever your groove is, however you see it. If it's just a little sway, then let it be a sway. If it's a little funky, then let it be a little funky, however you want to do it, all right? Y'all gonna follow me, and then I'm gonna ask y'all to do something a little bit later in this, but it goes a little something like this, right? Titan groove. Sit it da 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 da. Sit it da 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 da. So da da do do 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 do. Sing it to me da do do da do do da do do da. Sing it to me da do do da do do da do do da. Da do do ding 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 da do do. Sing it to da do do. Say do 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 da. Yes, keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Ah, I like that. All right, keep it going. I'm gonna ask something of y'all. Y'all gonna help me out? All right. It's gonna go like this. Y'all follow me. I am, I can be, I will be. 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 Y'all got it? I am, I can be, I will be. All right, keep going.
I am.
Do
I can be.
All right.
I will be.
I'm going to add something in. Keep going.
I am. I can be. I will be.
Worthy.
I am. I can be. I will be.
Worthy.
I am.
That's it.
I will be.
Worthy. Come on.
I can be. I will
I see you moving in your seat. Come on. I can be.
I will be.
Worthy.
I am.
I can be. I will be. Worthy. I am. I can be. I will be. Worthy. Ladies and gentlemen, you are worthy. You are worthy to be loved. You are worthy to be beautiful. You are worthy to be heartfelt. You are worthy to be hugged. You are worthy to be sitting right where you're sitting tonight, receiving all of this. I want to thank you all for being worthy and making me feel worthy tonight. Peace and blessings.